All right, good morning. It is Milby in the Morning on Facebook Live, and we welcome into this Monday, and we have with us a couple of characters this morning. We have Officer John Thomas and Officer Chris Denham with the Elizabethtown Police Department. And are you doing the first mug shot? There you go. There you go. No, that's a new feature we're going to do. I don't have a camera focused on you, but we're going to do the mug shot of the week.
Yes.
So I guess, what is that, the boss?
The boss.
Did your wife give that to you? Or
My wife did give this to me. Now, I think there are about 3 good explanations for what this might mean. You've heard the saying, dress for the job that you want.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're not really allowed a lot of uniform variations, so I can't really do that. So maybe it's an accessory talking about the job I want.
Okay.
So you're allowing false advertisement
Yes.
on your show is what's going on right now, Greg.
Let's talk about the job that you want then, because as everybody can look right now, I've got the camera on you guys. So, John, you are dressed in work clothes, and Chris is dressed like he's going to church today. So, is that what is that?
John wants to be a police officer. He wants people to think he is a police officer. The reality is he is not.
Okay.
I aspire.
You aspire to be
do.
one.
I've been there, done that.
That's good. This is why I wanted both of you guys on the show today to kind of talk, because we've talked off air and out in the public and stuff, and I don't want to say good cop, bad cop, because I don't want to have to classify which one is which. But
I think they can figure it out.
It should be fairly obvious to a thinking person.
So with you guys both being in the public information area, I know this is the first time for EPD having 2 in the public information area.
In a sense, it is. Tim Cleary and Virgil were up there in the community services section together.
But they were a little closer to each other than I think you guys are, because you guys have different likes, different dislikes, and let's just be honest, John, you have nice hair. Chris, you have none.
Exactly.
It's still nice. What little I have.
I tell folks that Chris is the backdrop that makes me pop, so that's kind of what he's there for.
So he thinks.
So that's your response to that, is that?
So he thinks.
There you go. Well, thanks again for coming in. I know you guys have, there's just so much stuff going on around our community. And when you guys put out the other day, when the police department put out the other day that the Citizens Police Academy is open again for signups and registrations, I know it fills up pretty quick. And as somebody that attended, it's been a few years ago, I wanted to give you guys a chance to come in and talk about the Citizens Police Academy and what it is, what it's about, how long the program is, and what are the benefits for people to take part in it. So who wants to start?
Well, I mean, we've been doing it. This will be the 35th time we have done the Citizens Police Academy as an agency. Since John and I came up, it's number 4? I think maybe you've done number 5.
I believe this will be number 5 for me, yep.
So it's just, we have made some changes. So even if you have made it and attended in the past, maybe it's something you can come back to and get a refresher. We really do like to cap it at around 30, just so everyone gets the full experience. It's an 8-week program. The first session of this class will begin on the 21st of February. We meet from 6:30 to 9 p.m. We are going to take a break because of spring break in that, but it is 8 classes. In addition to the 8 classes, you have the opportunity to do a ride-along in a police cruiser on the shift of your choice. You also have the opportunity to run through our response to resistance simulator. It's an enlightening experience, Greg. I think you probably have ran through that in the past.
Yeah, I didn't do so well either.
I'm not surprised by that, to be honest with you.
It actually ended pretty bad.
That's probably one of the most eye-opening experiences for folks, because basically you're stepping in the shoes of an officer, taking on a gun and a taser, and making some of those split-second life-and-death decisions that we frankly have to make.
And that is, I kind of laughed about it because it was that bad, because I'm not trained to do that. But it really was eye-opening what that simulator does for it, because it's not just a firearm.
No, it is absolutely not a shooting simulator. It is and that's why we call it's a response to resistance simulator. You encounter individuals in mental crisis all the way up to potentially an armed robbery, traffic stop situations, and you act on the simulator as you would in real life. You respond appropriately. And so many of the situations you do not end up using force other than just merely your officer presence.
And many of the simulations, if you talk your way correctly through the scenario, it will not end in violence. Right. But we see a lot of civilians go through the training. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to de-escalate, especially under that kind of pressure, and they end up having to use a weapon. And again, that's where our training is so vital.
And then when to put it into perspective, it's a training, so it's not as much pressure as the real situation.
Sure.
And I guess there's pepper spray involved and everything with the simulator.
There's pepper spray, there's the taser, there's the AR-15 which we carry, and obviously our sidearm, also a ASP baton, and then obviously our most valuable tool is our verbal judo. So
let's talk about how Elizabethtown, when we get back to Citizen Police Academy, since we're on this portion here, how did the simulator come about? Because I know there aren't many agencies in the state of Kentucky that have a simulator to this caliber.
So the Kentucky League of Cities, they own a couple of simulators, and they transport them throughout the state, put them on loan to agencies. We have a couple of our instructors, Chris Elam being the primary simulator instructor. He is top notch, and everything that guy does, especially with training, it's done right, And I think he was a big push behind that, and Chief Schiller, former Chief Schiller, saw the need, the opportunity, for that. So when we had it from the League of Cities, we only had it, as I said, on loan for say a month per year. Well, with this, we run through multiple times per year, and it just keeps your skills fresh, keep you honed in, and it's an awesome training tool that we have. It's other than the real thing, I can't think.
Yeah,
of
it's as close to simulating reality as you can get.
Right.
And this is something that they're going to get a chance to experience as part of this.
And it's an interactive,
Academy.
as John mentioned, it's interactive. So if you say the right things, if you do the right things, if you use the proper techniques or tactics, the instructor, will be Chris Elam, he is able to control that person and de-escalate the situation, make them de-escalate. Whereas if you don't respond appropriately, he can make the assailant respond in a way that we hope that never happens.
So that's a great eye-opening thing for somebody to take part in the Citizens Police Academy. But looking back at when I took it, I tell you, one of the more eye-opening things for me, besides the ride-along, was Dr. Lee. Mm-hmm. When the coroner comes in and talks about what he does. Is that still a part of the program?
It is.
And we've added an additional class with a family court judge, which has been absolutely phenomenal. Judge Brent Hall has come and done that presentation for us, I think just the last two.
Yeah, I think I had him come in. We were getting a lot of questions related, so we've always done the district court judge or a circuit court judge related to criminal, but in the evaluations that we hand out at the end of the course, we always got the question of, they wish there were more family court, they wish there was a family court presentation, and even the district court or the circuit court judge who came, they sparked a lot of interest from family court, and a lot of questions were posed, so we decided that would be a thing, and we've got a lot of positive feedback on that. Judge Hall, of course, most everyone knows him. He does a phenomenal presentation, very personable guy, and everyone really enjoys that.
And he's very commanding. He's bigger than you are.
He is a big man. He
is.
Few people I say that about, but Judge Hall is a big man.
Yeah.
And we also added a dispatcher presentation. And dispatch, obviously, that is our mission control. They are the glue that holds us together. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't know where to go, how to go. So.
I think it's great that you do add that in, because I think you talk about a stressful situation. It's just their ears and their voice. They don't have a chance to actually see what's going on, and I know they go through a lot.
We're absolutely dependent on them to give us information. If they don't tell us, then we don't know what's going on, and we're going into a situation blind. So
they are a special breed. There's no way, Greg, that I could ever do that job.
Yeah. So, do you have to live in the city limits to participate in the Citizens Police Academy?
As long as you can get there on time, then you are good to go.
All right. And then
that's something else you mentioned on time. But a lot of folks, they get caught up and they'll call and say, "Well, I already have this planned. I'm going to need to miss a night." Look, we realize life happens. This is our opportunity. We want to spread our message. We want to give these citizens an opportunity to see inside of what we do. So if you need to be absent or late from a course, it's okay. We fully understand that.
Now it's just like the late start to the show that we got here today. We understand that things happen.
The 8
Greg.
o'clock show that started at 8:10 or so.
That's
You'll
right.
be billed accordingly, Greg.
Yeah, I can see that. I knew that, and I knew that you would be the first one to make a comment about it off the air, and I knew you would be the first one to make a comment about it on the air.
I'm not that kind of guy.
See, I know you, both of you, but and that's what the Citizens Police Academy is about too, to get to know the officers, and part of the reason that started Kentucky's Heartland is I want to be able to share stories about people that are doing things in our community and some of the events and things that not everybody gets to experience at a different level. I've been blessed to get a chance to experience the police department at a different level, but not the level that I end up in an orange jumpsuit. But I see what you guys do.
I've seen you in an orange jumpsuit.
Actually, I have worn an orange jumpsuit as well.
Don't be so misleading.
But I've not been behind bars yet, but I'm sure that you guys can make that happen. But I see the work you do, not only with wanting to make sure you get out and have dialogue and have conversations and connections with the community, but also with what you do with the Special Olympics Torch Run and some of the other events that you're a part of. But I think it's important that the Citizens Police Academy comes together so people can see you guys and understand what you go through on a day-to-day basis. Because during this 8 weeks, every week is different when you have a subject.
Yeah, you hear from everything from, we open with hearing from our command staff, Chief Land, Major Faggett, Major Sloan, talk about, the annual end-of-the-year report, just the amount of calls for service we respond to, the amount of officers we have. And then you hear from all of our specialized unit, K9, accident. John does accident reconstruction.
Phenomenal
Probably the
presentation.
worst presentation we have at this police academy, but felt sorry for him, so I let him do that. But there's a special response team, which everyone likes.
Drug Task Force
Narcotics.
is probably one of the best presentations, and I think a lot of folks are unaware just how prevalent the drug problem is here in our area, and it's incredibly eye-opening. And you really get a holistic view of what happens in Hardin County from a law enforcement perspective. You realize, okay, there's a drug problem, and that drug problem leads to family court issues. When you hear Judge Hall's presentation, you're going to realize, okay, there's all these cases, unfortunately, involving families and children that are touched by the drug problem. You realize that all these problems are connected, quality of life issues that we'll talk about, and it's all connected. And you really just get not only a good glimpse of what we do from a law enforcement perspective, but you get to know your county, some of the issues that happen in your area, and it's really eye-opening.
We do not live in Mayberry, USA, but we
Unfortunately,
do
we
live
do
in
not.
a great place. We have
Yes,
a great place to
we do.
live, but it's not without its problems. And I think with the community getting to understand what the problems are and understand the challenges that you guys have on a day-to-day basis too helps out.
The partnership that we have with our citizens here there's not another place in this country that you would find that, I don't think, and I really believe that. And the Citizens Police Academy, I think, is a big way to continue that and to carry that on.
So the important thing here is to mention how much it costs. How much is it to participate in the Citizens Police Academy? Free.
Greg,
That is the
that's
first
FREE.
time I have ever heard the word free
Free.
come out of your mouth. It is an amazing day.
I got a free lunch last week, Greg. Remember? You bought my
That's
lunch.
right, but you didn't say thanks for the free lunch. You just said thanks for the lunch. So, but so free. Now, are you still doing the ride-alongs?
In the Citizens Police Academy?
Uh-huh.
Yes, everyone will have the opportunity to do a ride along.
Okay, and that's pretty eye-opening
It
too.
is. And it's a shift of your choice, the day of your choice for those action seekers. I mean, they might pick a midnight shift Saturday night.
But as somebody that's been around you guys a while, the midnight shift is not where it's at. There's a lot more action during the day than I think in the night shift.
Just very
From a call
very-
volume standpoint,
Yes.
absolutely.
Just very different.
The calls tend to be more exciting at night, but there's a lot more call volume during the day. So
Yeah, if there's going to be a pursuit, it's probably not going to be at night.
let's not jinx ourselves.
Yeah,
Greg.
knock on
Yeah.
fake wood right here. So, all right. So the dates, I'll go ahead and put this on the screen so people can see that. So the dates, give everybody the details on the police academy. Go for it. Do you know what the dates, or do I need to go
February
through
the 21st is the first session.
Very nice.
And then there are 8 sessions,
Uh-huh.
but there will be a 1-week break. Mm-hmm. So there are a total of 9 weeks that this thing will occupy, starting at 6:30 p.m., ending at 9. And if you're asking for a dates in addition to the February 21st, I can't help you.
See, I was trying to stick you in, and I feel bad.
I have
that
a little.
did.
I have a little notepad.
So
on
it
my
ends
computer
April the
monitor.
18th if you needed to know, and you can go to epd.org to apply today. You're seeing it on the screen. If you're just listening on your phone, you can go back and watch us a little bit later on. Again, free admission, meets Thursday night, 6:30 till 9, and you get a chance to meet all kinds of great officers.
And some not
And
so
Chris
great.
Denham,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and
right. That's
and
right.
maybe John will let you take a picture with his hair.
Maybe.
Because when I first met you, I made a joke about your hair just for the fun of it, that you have preacher hair. But you've kind of gripped and grabbed onto that. I think you really truly love the
It's
fact that
part of
you
my
have-
legacy.
And is it? So that's nice, Chris.
I can't let you take
We
a
really
picture of
don't-
my hair, Greg. I'm sorry.
We really don't have much of a
We don't
legacy
have
when it
it.
comes to that.
Clearly not.
Now, from the Citizens Police Academy, I know the next step is, I know you have somebody come in too from the, because we want to make sure we give these folks some time too, the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. You want to talk about a great group of people.
Awesome organization. There are over 100 members of said organization. They're all graduates of our Citizens Police Academy, and they help us out in various capacities. I mean, I don't know if Greg, do you follow us on Facebook?
I do. Follow you on
We stay
Facebook.
pretty busy. It's
I've
fair
looked
to
on you on MySpace, but you're not on there. So
And Instagram,
You're missing
E-Town
that.
PDKY.
But seriously, I mean, if you follow us on Facebook, we're very busy. We're out, especially in the
Yes.
summertime into the fall. We're out nearly every weekend. Frankly, we don't have the staffing. There are times John goes one direction, I go another. We grab a couple people from the CP AAA to come out and help us out. They have monthly meetings. They hear from various speakers at the organization. They decide that within the organization who they want to hear from at their meetings. But they're a huge asset to not just to our agency but also to our citizens of Elizabethtown.
they're great. So if you go through the Citizen Police Academy, you get a chance to have an opportunity to join
Absolutely.
that group as well and really get involved in more.
And their president is Larry Meyer, and he'll be at all the Citizens Police Academy sessions, and you'll get to meet him. And
Larry's everywhere.
Larry's a
New
great-
Year's Day dash. There's Larry with his bright green vest on, ready to serve.
Larry is a great dude.
So, anything else? What's the hot agenda? What's the hot topic? Anything we need to talk about and get the word out to the public today?
Just again, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Do you follow us on Facebook, Greg?
I just said yes.
You follow us on Instagram.
See, I know what you're doing. That's investigative
What?
skills right there. You're trying to catch me in a lie. I caught you on that.
You always want to play games with me, Greg.
I always want to play games with you because you're fun.
Life isn't a game
That's it.
anymore, okay?
Well, no, you're dressed in the suit. I thought the apocalypse was going to happen. Here's Chris Denham walks to the front door with a suit on. So, but you do look nice.
Twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, tell your wife she did a great job today
Thank you.
dressing you with that.
Yeah.
All right, so again, we were glad to have them. We've got Officer John Thomas, Officer Chris Denham with the Elizabethtown Police Department, the Citizens Police Academy. You can get signed up for that. That information is on their Facebook page. And
Or
also
Instagram, E-Town PDKY.
Yeah.
And to download an application, go to etownpd.org. It'll be right there on the homepage. Sign up for Citizens Police Academy.
I like that. Maybe we should add you as like the announcer guy of this show. That was kind of like I've always wanted to be like a Jimmy Fallon type deal, and he's got an announcer guy, so you could
I'm
step
going to
into
require
that.
a live band if we're going to go that format. So
Chris, do you play the kazoo?
I think we could.
We could add
I think
that
we
in.
could learn that talent.
All right. Well, you've been watching Milby in the Morning, part of Heartland, Kentucky's Heartland with Heartland Communications, and this will be available on YouTube a little bit later on, and you'll also be able to continue to watch it on Facebook. So if you need more of that information, thanks for watching.